So this happens to be some of the cards we're dealing. Look at this, Flagellants, eek. We've got Humble Elaine, looking after his dog there. Cocked Leg, very interesting. We've got Unlucky, obviously all these death things going around here. Again, this is a review. I'll be talking to you a bit more in a second on what I'm talking and showing you here, but this is mainly for those watching as a short. You can see some rather interesting looking hermits going on here. Look at that, inquisiting and stretching people out. Longleaf with a massive key, these magicians. And we've got a ploughman over here, chasing along. Got a courier, go over there. Oh, nudity. Then we've got a serf on crutches, wealthy freeholder. Oh yeah, tagging along. We've got Father Crossroad, hence that happening. Milkmaid, just 10 more seconds of this, and then I'll tell you about the review. And then we've got a bailiff trying to collect some money. The witch hunters, again, we've got some execution inquisitions going on here. A drunkard, doing all kinds of stuff. And then we've got the priest. So, this is the game Tolerance. This is a game I played yesterday as a 3. This is a heavy asymmetric trick-taking game whereby you're trying to kill off various people in various eras. Depending on various people that you play as, you're going to get a different amount of points. So if they're living, if they happen to be a Catholic, if they happen to be a Protestant. In this era, we play it over 3 rounds. This happens to be Mary I, Queen Elizabeth I, and James I. She wants the Protestants dead because she happens to be kind of moving away from the faith of the Papal yoke over in the Vatican, and therefore she wants those people to be killed off. Whereas over here, Queen Elizabeth is kind of indifferent, and over here we now want the Catholics dead. So in that case, that represents the Catholicism, and you're trying to kill them off. You're also going to gain some points. You're going to be getting some points representing by piety, and you're trying to collect piety. I'll show you how that looks in a second, and also money. Money here is taxes. This can give you piety, so this will give you piety, which again is points, for any peasant cards or any noble cards. This happens to be a noble card, so you're going to get yourself 2 piety. If you win this trick, so you have a higher card, let's say in this suit, or someone's chucks in the suit because they can't follow, because they haven't got any blue cards themselves, that's any noble cards, then you are going to get yourself however many points that might be. So you might be getting any cards relating to this and this. That's 2 more points. Again, somebody might have led off with this one, so you'll be on to -1, and someone may have played, let's say, another, I don't know, maybe they led off with this card. Well, obviously they're not going to win, but maybe they played this card as the lead card in, let's say, the townsfolk suit. Therefore, they are now playing a townsfolk card. No one else has got them, so they're just chucking these 2 cards. That's going to kill off a card. You do resolve it in value order. So 3 goes first, does nothing. So 2 kicks in, you're going to get yourself some piety values, in this case -1, because this one is a townsfolk. If it was a peasant card saying, oh hey, I'm playing a peasant card, then they'll also count and negate it. And lastly, this would kill off a card. So it's going to kill off, in this case, one of these 2 cards. And depending on which one it's killing off, you might be getting some bonuses. I'll show you in a second why, whether or not it happens to be Protestant, or if it happens to be, in this case, in the first round, it would be a Catholic card, because in the first era, anything that's 0 or neutral happens to sway the way of either the Protestants in the third era or the Catholics in the first era. In the second era, it's neutral. Again, coming back to the fact that in the first era, it's all about being Catholics. Second era, neutrals, like let's say atheists or agnostics. And the final third round or era in James I's time, it's now all switching to Protestant. So that's basically various suits and various value, like a quasi suit as well. So I told you about the various characters you can play as. That's this little kind of cheat sheet as well, playing over those 3 eras as I mentioned. So someone will have Queen Mary because 36 cards will be dealt out. Somebody will have Queen Elizabeth II, sorry, the first, and someone will have King James I, 3rd era, 2nd era, 1st era. Tallying out your scores over here, if you happen to get enough gold, so if you happen to get, like, say, 30 gold, you're going to cross off 3 of these baubles, these flag symbols, and what's going to happen there is you can use a multiplier based on other stuff too. So you've got 3, depending on how you play this. So let me show you how I'm talking about all this. Bertram, so here that multiplier mentioned, 1 point times the amount of baubles, so 3, but if you happen to play as some of the other characters, you might get -1, so you do not want to be trying to collect, in this case, red, which red happens to be piety in the Catholic era, because Ned happens to be about Protestant. That is why you're losing points, and you're gaining more points in those later rounds, because of course you're switching from Catholicism to Protestantism, and in this case you also get more for money as well. But everyone plays as Bertram, the neutral, initially the balance, everyone's playing symmetrically in the first game, I recommend, but it is better as an asymmetric game. Rating on a 7 out of 10. It's hard to get your head around. It's only about 45 minutes to play, but that first game could well take you closer to 3 hours. And you can also get points over here for getting guild cards, so they get stronger each round as well. Nice catch-up mechanism if someone does very well in the first round. However, this is a game whereby you can't really mitigate the luck too much, especially in the balanced version of the game, whereby someone can have very good cards, constantly keep on winning, and you will get cards each round as well for winning. So any cards you have living, that you are going to get yourself an extra point for one card equals 1 gold and 1 piety. So that is something to be aware of. Any questions regarding errata, check out the comments best on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Daily videos, also head through to check out my sleeving playlist. You'll find this in there too, as well as a how to set up play and review list amongst many others. Aside from that, there's some other points in each round. So if you happen to have any peasants in round 1, you get yourself a point here. Townsfolk in round 2 and nobles in round 3. Again, that can vary, and you can keep this information hidden so people don't know what it is. That's a variant as well. And as I said, you can get various cards to be deceased. In this case, you want to be killing off the Protestants, it seems here, for in round 3, etc. Sorry, you'll be killing off Catholics in round 3 because James is Protestant, where you want to be killing off the Catholics in round 1. Sorry, the Protestants in round 1. Again, it's very hard to get this around because I guess the last 500 years we've seen the crucifix and we assume that's Catholics, but actually it's Protestants. But I think they could have somehow changed that a little bit. I think they could have gone for the old kind of like Anglican looking cross instead. If you ever go provide 0 money, and it can only happen once, then you always start off with 5 money, that's 5 listed here. Then you can take one of these loans, then you go back up to 1 loan as well, and otherwise you will have to pay to lose that as well. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of sheets here going on, but they are only single-sided. Tiny box though, this is by Dragon Dawn Games, Dragon Dawn Productions. Yeah, this is a game of my #1 pick for Essen of about 2,000 releases. It's taken a long time to get to the table, I think because the artwork, which I went through earlier, isn't for everybody. But it's quite a nice small neat box. But again, if you're trying to play some of these lower value cards, they normally kill people off, but that's not normally enough of an incentive or do nothing at all to actually fight back against some high value cards. So there needs a bit more mitigation in my opinion to really kind of up the my rating for this one, especially with the other trick-taking players I've been playing with too. But it is a clever design. I was very impressed with what the designer has managed to do here. As you can see, everything kind of fits fairly neatly back in, but there's no kind of insert. That has been Tolerance. Thanks for watching. For now, back to the table.